Some think they're so clever. They've got it all figured out, you know. In addition to Ted having hostility from what he believes were angels in original heaven, he's also had hostility to hate how much possible from Satan, Satan's demons and spawns, and other spiritual things. Those can actually get through and deceive Ted and deceive humans, including on how, you know, bleak it possibly is, the future of Ted, and the fact that it's possible Ted will not survive this coming. I do believe I will survive this coming. I'm going to survive this coming. I will survive this coming. I will live in original heaven in this spiritual living thing, brain and body, of approximately 1 trillion of spiritual power, and at least 100,000 spiritual living intelligence, and different types of geniuses and talents and abilities, to what I believe could be 1 million in intelligence to even 1 billion. Even intelligence angels don't understand. You see, it's possible. Therefore, I'm not going to offer upgrades to this brain and body. I'm not doing new angels to this brain and body, except for sometime possibly in the future, 37 of them to test it, and then myself, Ted, and then 37 possibly, and possibly, you know, clones of Michael and clones of Gabriel, or clones of Gabriel and clones of Michael, or, you know, the new angel 1s, 2s, and 3s, or other things I create with additional power, you know, not only an average of 1 million, maybe even 1 billion or billions in power, possibly, to really pound. And I can maneuver them onto Earth, because I can legally, if it's an upgrade, maneuver them onto Earth. I can legally get them onto Earth, even, you know, with an upgrade. If they were on Earth before, I can resurrect them with an upgrade and maneuver them onto Earth again. If they were doing Weevil Earth duty before, is an example. And I can pound you in the future. You might see evidence of this in 100 to 1,000 years. You might see evidence of this if I don't have too many delays, because things are missing with my ability to create, you know. Ted's information, knowledge, and files, and data, and digital things stored are missing. I have things missing with my ability to create. I find things missing, and I'm going to probably be blaming Michael for quite a while. It's like, Michael, you know, you were supposed to be protecting this, and this is part of the protection priorities during this coming, and things are missing. This software doesn't even compile. This doesn't compile. I'm missing some genetics here. I'm missing some documentation here. I'm missing some things explaining how I did this. I'm missing some things explaining how spiritual works. I'm missing some things, it seems, about spiritual. I'm missing things. I'm missing some to many things, you know. What were you doing, Michael? Were you erasing things and deleting things and throwing things in fire and, you know, burning things and, you know, covering down the Creator's ability to create, and or rating the Creator, and or, you know, secretly giving it to different angels and starting to rate Ted? What were you doing, you know? Ted does believe he's been having problems with Michael. Yet he does believe he's going to survive this coming. Ted believes he is to survive this coming. And if it looks like Ted has committed suicide, don't believe it. I was told some of these quote-unquote suicide cults were done. They sent in assassins and they poisoned the punch. You know, and so people were drinking all this punch, and they were having some kind of a celebration or a ritual or something, or a communion. Okay, and they were drinking all this for communion, and they all were poisoned to death, and they were sending assassins. And I was told this happened. Never, don't believe it. You know, don't believe don't believe everything you're told or reported, even by U.S. government. Don't believe that these were suicide cults. I was told some of them were assassinated. They sent in assassins. Therefore, if Ted looks like he's committed suicide, don't believe it. You know, if he looks like, oh, he took a flying leap. Well, you're going to have to believe he was probably hauled there by some and pushed and it was an assassination. Don't believe it. If Ted looks like he was poisoned, don't believe he took it himself. It was an assassination. Ted looks like he did a drug overdose, and he shot himself with heroin or something. I didn't do that. I never shot myself with any drugs, or took some drugs, or took some kind of drugs that killed him. There was an overdose. Don't believe it. Don't believe it if it looks like a suicide with Ted. And even if it was, I would survive this coming. If I did commit suicide, I would survive this coming. Legally, it doesn't block or stop or prevent my resurrection, even if it was a suicide, even if I did commit suicide, or took a flying leap, or shot myself in the head with a gun, or cut my throat with a knife or something, even if I did do it, cut my wrist or something, and even if I did do it, I would survive this coming. The Roman Catholic Church teaching about suicide, and if you commit suicide, they were teaching you were eternally damned, or you were even to be put in hell or eternally into hell, was not accurate. I'm even planning on resurrecting some suicides. Even some angels during this coming committed suicide, and I was told in original heaven, and maybe some of them will resurrect. I can resurrect a suicide. There's nothing legal stopping me from resurrecting suicides. God can resurrect a suicide. And it's not all, absolute. You all, if you commit suicide, are put in hell, or you get eternal death or something. Like it's your final huge, deadly sin because you committed suicide, before even getting forgiven, you committed suicide. You committed suicide. That's not even accurate. I can resurrect suicides. Point is if Ted looks like he committed suicide, or he even did commit suicide, I still live after this coming. I still survive it, and I'm going to survive it. I'm a huge survivor. I'm sure I'm going to survive it somehow. Some royal angels or angels are going to make sure Ted's resurrected. In fact, it's going to be redundant, and I'm going to have too many of these brains and bodies. I'm going to say, who of these is Ted? We're going to have to figure it out. There's like 10 of us. What are we going to do? Well, I guess, we'll have like a, lottery, or we pick straws, and who gets the long straw, and everybody else gets the short straw, and then, something like this. We're going to have to do something and pick a number from 1 to 100, and, something like this. We're going to have to figure out who actually is Ted and God and the Creator and the Lord and the King, if there are redundant resurrections, but I'm actually sure there's going to be. Hopefully not too many. Hopefully, 37 or less in addition to Ted, so 37 plus 1 or less, and then I might test out these new angels and try this out and see how this works, including maneuvering some onto Earth and pounding humans for disobeying Ted and disobeying my commands and not doing enough into itty-bitty pieces to broken glass to dust. Couldn't hit you so hard you can't believe it, with different weapons of mass transition, including, bioweapons, biotech, biotechnology, biological weapons, chemical weapons, nukes, different things put in your food, altering your food, to the point where you can't even keep track. At some point in the future, you're not going to even be able to keep track. What was the Creator original? I told you to put arcs together, and you're going to not be able to keep track. What was the Creator original, and what is biotech? We don't understand it now. At some point in the future, like 1,000 years from now, thousands of years from now, you're not going to be able to figure it out. You're already losing track. In fact, with some things, you've already lost track on Weebled Earth. You're losing track of what was the Creator original and what is biotech.